What do you want to talk about? Welcome to the Wrestling Council. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. Let me get the mic over here because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm your host, Comic Book Bob. Joined as always by my good friend, Hollywood Frank.
The best in the world, baby.
Oh, God. Hang on a minute. I gotta do something. There we go. Because, hey, look.
It's Tony Khan.
It's our local punk shield.
So, what do you guys want to talk about?
I want to talk about you, Tony Khan.
God.
Why?
Anyway,
he has no power.
You can catch us. You can catch all of us here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, talking about all the stuff that happens in wrestling. And oh my freaking God, this was this was an interesting week.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure we're all on the same page. The biggest thing that happened this week was MJF came back, right?
Sure. Like, no one saw that coming.
Oh my God.
The buzz after the show, man. Everyone
How?
was talking about it.
Dude, we're gone for a freaking week and all hell breaks loose, man. Like the craziness of something as big as MJF coming back and nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. Oh my God.
I guess that's karma. When he threatened to leave the company, like he stole Wardlow's big moments. So now it all came full circle.
Yeah, I guess, man. But we're definitely going to get into it. There's a lot of theories. There's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts, what ifs, and we're going to talk about all.
What about Mr. Money in the Bank?
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
That's the best news. He got his first name back.
Yeah, him and Ciampa both got their. Yeah, everybody gets their first name back now that Vince is gone.
You have a first name, and you have a first name, and you have a first name.
I have an identity, sir. Oh, thank you. Real quick, let's check out everybody who's there. Leg Kick says, "Hail the Wrestling Council. What's up? What's up, Leg Kick?" Fantasia says, "Hi guys." Maldacito says, "What's up, people? What's up, Maldacito?"
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Hello.
What's up?
What's up?
Maldacito,
Man.
keep your eyes on the road.
Yeah, make sure. Yeah. Be safe, brother. And like I said, you follow us on social media, but you can also catch us every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, talking about all the wrestling. Frank, you're our GBA today.
In honor of Phil, I'm wearing his shirt, baby. The best in the world. AEW champion. CM Punk.
And here I thought I was going to be alone.
The cult of personality. Oh.
That's it.
Cult of Phil.
Hey.
Well, come on, man.
The good.
You.
Yeah, the good. The good is some re-debuts on Raw and on AEW All Out. Raw. Man, he looks good. He looks really good. That is Braun Strowman.
I am of two minds of this whole thing.
He looked like he's in good shape.
Well, he's looked jacked, like really good for like ever since he left. Because all
him doing the Hulk Hogan there in the ring.
Yeah. But I don't like that he had him come out and wreck the entire tag team division. What was the freaking point of that?
That's Vince coming back.
That's Vince. Yeah, that's Vince level shit right there. And he still did the stupid thing around that was dumb.
But having Strowman come back, it's good to see him back.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't fault people for wanting to make a living and whatnot and all that stuff, but then he did talk a lot of shit.
And I'm better than you, and you know it.
Yep. I'm gonna tell you what,
Jacob Friedman.
the ending of that friggin' that battle royal, man. Like I'm back in my head, I'm thinking, man, if it's not MJF, this is gonna be dog shit. And the way he was moving, the way his gait and everything, I was like, no, that's MJF. So I knew it was gonna pay off at the end of the night too. So it was awesome payoff too.
The bad, the short match between Christian and Jungle Boy, because unfortunately Christian has a serious injury. What it is, they haven't really come out and say it, but he has a serious injury. That's why that match was shortened to the point.
Yeah.
And the ugly, you can go the way of our topic for tonight. You could.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be unanimous, man.
You could. To be honest with you, I was not overly impressed with Clash at the Castle.
There were both pay-per-views, in my opinion, had good things and bad things on them. Like this was probably my least favorite pay-per-view from AEW all year so far. And then Clash of the Castle, man, there were some of the decisions, and I was like, what are you doing? But yeah,
I'll agree with you, but for some reason I felt like Double or Nothing was a little tougher to get through. I don't know why.
Because it was so freaking long.
Oh my god,
dude!
Point.
I had to tap out at Double or Nothing because that was long,
including the pre-show. It's 5.5 hours. I'm like, this is one of the things we used to bitch about WWE about, was pay-per-views are too damn long, man. And like when WrestleMania was 5 hours that year. This was almost that. And I'm like, oh my God, you can't expect people to sit through that. The fact that the crowd was as into the later matches as they were was shocking. It was crazy long, man.
On a separate note, because we weren't here last week, I will say that the Will Ospreay Aussie Open.
Oh my God, so good.
Versus
so good. Versus the Elite.
Versus Elite. That at Cleveland.
Yep. That was a blast, man.
That was so much fun.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I had to take care of my sister. She's doing really well, by the way. So everybody that's asking,
good.
She's doing really, really well. So, but yeah, dude. I mean, and it just, the complexion of everything has just changed from one week to the next, with everything that's been going on. But all right, that's your GBU. Johnny, you want to go?
Sure.
Go for it.
So the good is that everybody loves the Acclaim, and that was my match of the night.
That was fun.
I was so into that match,
dude. And that guy, I can't remember.
Scissor me, Daddy-O.
Dude, I can't remember the name of the reporter that CM Punk went off on. In
Brian Alvarez?
No, he didn't. Well, he didn't really go off on Alvarez.
Nick Hausman.
Yeah, Cosby. Yeah. That dude. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't like that guy. I've never liked that guy. And I don't think that Punk should have gone off him the way he did, because he didn't do anything. He just because he knew somebody. But he asked an unprecedentedly stupid question later when Swerve and Keith Lee were sitting there with Tony
was there any thought of calling an audible?
Dude, they're sitting right there.
That was just
you
stupid.
Moron. Oh
and
my God.
They had to do it twice.
Oh
they didn't get an answer, so they did it again.
I'll say, hey, Bob, come on. You can stay awake for 32 hours watching New Japan, but you're complaining about 5 hours from AEW. Dude, I'm going to tell you what, man, when I watch the friggin' G1 or the Super G, I'm a friggin' zombie. it's but at least I do it in 2-hour doses. So
I don't catch it live. I just can't.
Oh my God. I like watching it live, but at the same time, I'm like, but all right. So there's your good.
The bad, this might get my microphone muted. The finals to the 6-man tag championship match, not my thing. Thought it was stupid when you have your partners beating their opponents. Like you have Johnny Hungy and the other guy beating on Nick, and their partner has to save it. No, stop hurting him. Like it's their opponent. It's a wrestling match. This is drama. This is drama that should be on a Netflix. A teenage show. That match was not for me.
The first half of the match, I would say was a mediocre match at best. The last half of the match was awesome. The last half of the match, it jacked it up for me. So
I couldn't get into it. So in my ugly, it's gonna be the Harley Boy's face once he gets punched by Ace Steel. The probable black guy that I want to see this Wednesday, if it happened or not.
Dude, he got jacked up.
Hey, we get a chair thrown at your
face.
face.
Courtney. What's up, Courtney?
You get a chair thrown at your face. Ain't gonna feel too good.
Gonna show up like Hulk Hogan after a savage by facing.
One report said that it knocked him out. He got popped.
Who knows?
Dude.
Who knows?
Yeah, we're like right now, a lot of we do know some of the details of it because it's been reported by multiple people who were actually there. And they're all pretty much saying the same thing. But we're not going to know 100% of what actually happened until this thing gets sorted. And it's going to be a while because now cops and lawyers and everything are involved.
Yeah.
Because this was actual physical assault. Courtney, welcome back. Yeah, we missed you too, Courtney. I caught, and by the way, I caught Courtney on her the show she was doing. Yep. Yeah. On CNC. It was pretty cool. I couldn't stay for very long, but it was a lot of fun.
And then you got the locker room starting to divide between Punk and Elite.
Well, we'll talk about that more, but from what I heard, the vast majority of them are behind the Elite.
That's not what I heard.
That's
not what I heard. That's not what I heard either.
What I heard is actually the other thing I heard is that it's actually kind of shocking because people that you would think would back the Elite are actually kind of backing Punk, and people who you would think would back Punk are actually backing the Elite.
The other thing I heard is that people who would like to say the things that Punk said but don't have the same star power are kind of relieved that things are getting out there.
I've heard that. Well, I've heard that from both. I've heard that, but I've also heard that the same people are saying he did it the wrong way.
And I've also heard,
that was not the best way to handle it, but somebody has to do something.
It's typical CM Punk because he's a diva. That's what he's always been.
And I've also heard that the Young Bucks and Paige confronted Punk.
Yes, that
went after him. Now
that's true. They
if
did.
If you're going there, I mean, you're looking for something, and when a guy's that heated, it's not a good idea to go.
It wasn't good on either of their part to do any of the shit.
Well, it's not a good idea to get up and somebody. Well, whatever, confront somebody when they're.
And again, like we'll talk about this,
like that.
I put the onus for most of this on friggin' Tony Khan. So, but anyway, my GBU, despite it being long as hell, there was some really, really good wrestling and some great storytelling on All Out. Eddie Kingston versus Tomohiro Ishii, which was that this should have been on the pay-per-view. That was on the it was on the 0 hour. That should have been on the pay-per-view. That was awesome.
The Chop Fest.
Oh my god. Well, it's friggin' Kingston and Ishii, dude.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. Sammy and Tay versus Ortiz and Ruby did not need to be on this thing. They could have
they tried to kill Ruby on that match, goddamn.
Well,
I thought her neck was gone on that fall.
The only thing that Courtney, nothing has actually come out yet, and I think the reason why that's probably what's going to happen, Courtney. But we don't know. Nothing has actually happened yet because, like I said, because now it's a legal matter because of the assault and everything that happened. No decisions can be made. You can't make any snap decisions. So they're gonna have to talk to everybody that was involved. They're gonna have to talk to all the witnesses and everything. They're gonna have to go through the legal channels, and then all that shit's gonna happen, which is a big mess. But Kingston versus Ishii was good. Pac versus Kip Sabian was good, but it feels weird to have Sabian come back and just to lose. Yeah. The Casino Ladder match was a lot of fun. Had some great spots. The ending was janky as shit, but then we know why the ending was janky as shit. Danielson versus Jericho was a really good match. I still think Chris Jericho should have lost.
He should
Even
have.
if he was going, I mean, that finish was meh at best.
Yeah.
Danielson should have won that match.
Danielson should have won that match. FTR and Wardlow versus Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns was good, but it could have been better. It would have been better if it had just been FTR versus the Machine Guns.
FTR aren't allowed to have tag matches anymore. I mean, they were showing who they're showing who the best tag team are. So
what else? Hook versus Angelo Parker on the 0 hour. Dude, I'm not impressed anymore. I want to see Hook in a real match. I want to see him in a real program with somebody because at this point, it's diminishing returns. Speaking of which, Jade Cargill versus Athena. This is the best that Jade has looked. Period. Like this is she's really, really improved. I just feel like they didn't. This match should have been more than it was. Swerve and Glory versus the Acclaim. This was probably the next to the 6-man. This was the match of the night for me. This was so good, and I really feel like the Acclaim should have won. Even though I like Swerve Strickland, I like Keith Lee. I really wish that
their time will come. Their time.
I think they're going to win at what you call it? Is it Revolution at the end of the year?
Yeah.
Full Gear, no?
In November.
It's Full Gear, no?
It's Full Gear. Yeah, I think they're going to win it at Full Gear.
Full Gear, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to win it at Full Gear. But so yeah, I mean, we're talking about the good here. So Elite versus the Dark Adam Page and the Dark Order was the first half of it was kind of meh, but the last half of it was dope as shit, man. Especially the near John Silver and Alex Reynolds getting a chance to shine. Those dudes are awesome, man. I really liked it. But yeah, there's some really, really great wrestling. The bad. There was some crap. It's Sammy and Tay versus Ortiz and Ruby didn't need to happen on that. They could have just put that on Rampage or Dynamite.
Oh, they couldn't just not had that match because they already had it, and it was pretty much the same finish. So
that's the thing. I'm like, you don't need to see this here. Hook versus Angela Parker, same thing. Didn't need to be on the buy-in. Could have done something else. The casino ladder match, like I said, the ending was janky as shit. It was funny though watching because poor friggin' Claudio was trying to do that did not go down.
Those letters were,
yeah,
Rob, your good, bad, and ugly's taking 15 minutes.
Well, dude, I'm trying to get through it.
Good, bad, ugly. Boom, boom, boom.
Shut up. I'll do it.
Not the whole pay-per-view.
I do what I want. But yeah, there were some bad things. I wasn't particularly impressed with the women's match. But yeah, and then like Ricky Starks versus Power Hobbs, I'm not sure about that. Jungle Boy, I know why Jungle Boy versus Christian Cage happened. It's fine. But yeah, some of it was just this felt like, and it was so damn long. That was the biggest thing. It was too damn long. It's too damn long. And the ugly. Well, you guys know what the ugly is, man.
What? No.
CM Punk having a goddamn hissy fit meltdown, and then the friggin' fight that happened afterwards. We said months ago, we did that video. Is Tony Khan cracking under the pressure? Are cracks starting to form in AEW? Everybody was saying no. Well, now we know.
Yeah, see, Courtney agrees with me.
But there you go. But that's my good, my bad, my ugly. What you guys good, bad, and ugly? Ugly Braun Strowman's trip. Yeah, that was kind of funny. Not only did he do the stupid choo-choo train thing, but he tripped. Yeah, all these months of build-up, and it was just like, yeah, it didn't pay off.
That's because they could have a better match, but I feel like that spot was for Chris, and she wasn't able to be there because of her knee.
I agree. I do think it was for Chris Statler, but still, there was a lot of build-up and then not much payoff. It was probably to try and get some exposure for AAA out there. Big show coming up. No, I understand why they did it. I just don't think it belonged. It needed to be on the buy-in for the pay-per-view. You could have just done that on Dynamite or something like that.
Okay.
But anyway, that's our GBU. All right, guys.
And we knew that Luchasaurus was turning.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Everybody called that.
Oh yeah, I called that months ago. I was like, yeah, like he's gonna pretend to be his friend, and then he's gonna,
which is good because it needs to be.
Yeah, I liked it.
Bob and I talked about the other day. It needs to be Jack Perry
Yep.
No more Jurassic Express.
Yep.
Get him out on his own.
Yeah. And like we said, we were talking, I said, you could call him something like Savage Jack Perry or something like that. You know, if you still wanted to lean a little bit into the Jungle Boy thing, you know, coming out of that, you know, do something like that. But Jack Perry needs to be on his own, and he needs to grow up. He needs to stop being the boy and start being the man. So,
Yeah.
and this is the beginning of it. I like it.
Would you give him no music?
Different music.
Different music. Yeah. I know Tony paid a lot for that, but then again, you know, hey, you got to evolve.
And Sammy Guevara needs to grow up too. This stuff with
Yes, he
Ty
does.
Conti is.
Dude, I'm so done with this shit.
What-
He needs to be
when-
rehabbed bad.
When Sammy Guevara, the best match in January in Cleveland was Guevara versus Cody Rhodes.
That match was so good, dude. And then it's just been,
and
it's been
6
downhill.
months later, it's just like
It's been downhill since.
That's because
But-
Tony needed that mixed tag with Paige Van Zandt, and so they put them together on screen, and now
It's because
here.
Cody left. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I think a lot of this shit that's going on right now is because Cody left. think
before he was gone, like people were talking if he was even still in the elite, that it seemed like there was a fraction. He was not in the group
Yep.
anymore, and I feel like some of that may have been a similar situation.
Yeah. And I honestly think that Cody was the glue behind the scenes that kept everything together. And
He was
now
the
that
one EVP actually doing some work.
and now that he was gone. No, I think they're all doing stuff. It's just that I think the Bucks and the Elite are like, they still think it's a best friends extravaganza, and it's not. It's like, you guys, you know, you gotta be actual friggin' executives. You gotta do things that maybe you don't want to do. It's not just it's not just their friends club anymore. So yeah, I like Ty Conti. I like Sammy Guevara, even though I know that he has a very checkered past, but I am not liking this shit with them. So, but all right, let's talk about it.
yeah, enough with the Hardy Boys and finger
Yeah.
bang.
Oh, do you fancy
So-
yourself a journalist?
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. I've said this before. I'll say it again, and I will say it until the day I die, because it's 100% true. CM Punk is a diva. CM Punk is, like I said, he's he's a talented guy, super talented guy, one of the best on the mic, maybe one of the 5 best on the mic ever. Okay. Great at telling a story. CM Punk cares about CM Punk. Cody caught TK playing with the AEW toys like in Spaceballs and left. Oh my God. Yeah, that's another thing that's trending, is everybody's like, you know, Cody knew and he was abandoning a sinking ship. And I was like, maybe not. There's right now.
Well, allegedly the tension between Punk and the Cucamonga Kid started before he was even signed. So
Yeah. Normal Guy says, Normal Guy, Bay, and just subscribe. Thanks, Normal Guy. Appreciate that. Yeah, guys, tweet this out, share it through social media, help us grow this thing. We're on our way to 150 subscribers and hopefully beyond that. But we greatly appreciate it, guys. And like I said, this is your show. So if you got something you want to talk about, throw it in the chat and we'll talk about it. But and this is the other thing too, like 90% of what we're going to say on this show right now is just pure speculation, because a lot, other than a few basic details, most of what's happened back behind the scenes and everything, we don't know about. We haven't seen it.
And when
All
Cody
right.
said about Ace Steel being fired, you don't know
Right.
if somebody did something to him that
To make him do what he
precipitated
did?
that chair being thrown.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. I'm not going to be an apologist for anybody. All right. I honestly think there's blame to be placed on everybody involved in this thing. But the two people that I think are most directly responsible for all this shit is CM Punk and Tony Khan. Punk in the past, here's the thing. Punk has built his entire career on shooting on people. Okay. Which is fine, which is great. It's the business. That's what it is. But this thing where he can talk about you, but you can't talk about him, that's kind of bullshit. Now, I understand the frustration that he probably felt with the whole thing with him and Colt Cabana. I understand that. We all knew from the beginning, we said if he shows up there, there's going to be some drama between him and Colt.
Yep.
Now, come on. When Alan Angels and Stu Grayson got released, no one said a thing. And Cole Cabana was honestly less valuable than them at the moment. So for people to start saying that Punk was the reason he's not
I'm
on
not talking
television
about that.
anymore, it's
Okay, I'm not.
just weird.
We're not there yet. I'm saying in the beginning, everybody knew that the two of them had a contentious relationship. Okay, so when Punk got signed, we all knew that something was going to happen with Colt Cabana. Either he was going to get released, or he was going to get moved over to something, whatever. The problem is the reason why I put Hicksville said, "Happy birthday, normal guy." Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday. Happy early birthday.
Yeah, happy early birthday, man. The reason why I put this on Tony is Tony should have taken care of this from the start. Tony should have come out and just said, "This is what's going to happen. This is what we're going to do. You know, this is the relationship, blah, blah, blah." They should have hammered this thing out before. Instead, Tony stayed largely silent on everything and just let this thing fester. Okay? Because, as we've said multiple times, Tony wants to be everybody's friend. He wants to be the popular boss that everybody loves, et cetera, et cetera. He's the fanboy who's made good.
Right. But Punk knew when he came in that Colt Cabana was already there.
Yes.
He would have come in if him and Tony didn't talk about that situation. Tony Khan would have brought him in if there was going to be an issue.
Right. No, and in the beginning, I don't think there was an issue. I think the lack of communication is what created the issue. Tony should have come right out from the start and hammered out exactly what was going on, and he didn't. Because, like I said, again, Colt's the friends with the Bucks and Kenny and Hangman and all those guys. They're all friends. He wanted everybody to be happy, and he didn't. He needed to step up as the boss and just lay it out and say, "This is the way things are going to be." He should have done that. And I honestly think if he'd done that in the beginning, it wouldn't have got to the point that it was.
Right.
Because for starters, all the dirt sheets wouldn't have been talking about it. They would have been like, "Well, this is what they said happened, and this is what's going on." So that situation, I lay firmly, squarely at the feet of Tony Khan. But here's the thing. When this scrum started, Punk was already pissed off. And this is the thing about Punk. This dude, Punk carries a grudge. He will carry a grudge to his freaking grave. Okay? When this stuff happened with Hangman, they should have immediately, if Punk had a problem with it, he should have talked to Tony. And if he did talk to him, because again, we don't know any of this stuff, but it seems like he never said anything. He just waited until he got back so he could give him his receipt. But if this thing was this big of an issue, if he had this much of a problem with Hangman shooting on him like that, they should have had to sit down and talk and iron this stuff out. Once again, none of this happened. At least from what we know.
As far as you know, yeah.
As far as we know, none of this happened. But Punk came back. He gave Hangman his receipt. That should have been the end of it. Okay? You know, Hangman went at him. He went at Hangman. Done and over. Fast forward a month later, he comes walking into the back room and he's having a goddamn hissy fit.
But that's also not going to be the end of it when your vice presidents are talking shit about him to their Papa Meltzer.
We don't know that's true, though.
Once
again, we don't know that's true. We don't know any of this stuff. This is Punk's claim, but according to all the reporters who were there, they're like, nobody leaked us anything. Nobody said anything to us. And here's the thing with a lot of these guys, you don't have to leak anything new because they'll just pontificate like we do. Right? Everybody's just wondering what's going on. But the thing is Punk came back and he was already pissed. And I think it's because of what happened with MJF. I think Punk he's here and he's in his hometown and he's like, he wants to be a son. And again, he's a diva. And I understand that. He's always been like that. You work around it. But he's in his hometown. This is his big moment. And what happens? The crowd starts chanting for MJF louder than they pop for him louder than they pop for MJF. They pop for MJF louder than they pop for him. For somebody with an ego like his, and immediately I think he's stewing this stuff in his brain the last couple of months. He's thinking that that's the reason why that the dirt sheets and that the elite and all those guys are trying to cut his legs out from underneath him. So he goes in the back, and that's why he goes on this freaking tirade, and that's why he singled out the reporters, but particularly the guy that was actually Cabana's friend a while back. And I think that's why I think that's part. I think it's nothing is one thing, but I think that's a big part of it is he was pissed because this was going to be his big moment, and he feels like they screwed him. So, and here's the thing: if they are in fact, talking shit like this behind his back, this is again something that Tony should have taken care of. He should have. Like I said, Tony. I put a lot of the responsibility of this and everything falling apart. I put it on Tony because at the end of the day, he's the boss. And if you've got unrest in your locker room and if you're hearing things, you need to go and you need to take care of it. But Tony, like I said, he wants to be everybody's friend. And when you're the boss, you just can't.
Tomorrow's going to be an interesting night.
From what I understand, none of them are going to be on there tomorrow. Even in segments that they were supposed to be in, they're not going to be there. They're all basically kind of sitting at home on leave, waiting to see what happens from the investigation into this.
After suspending Eddie, like even if there was no legal matter, they wouldn't have any choice.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Is like do you have? I mean, let's be fair. Punk is a much bigger star than Eddie Kingston is, but you're in a company. You're supposed to have, it's supposed to be, equal treatment. What are you going to do? And but anyway, so we can, I don't want to go through each step of everything that he said and everything, but basically he buried Colt. He buried the reporters. He buried Hangman Adam Page. He buried Kenny and he buried the Bucks. And the whole time, Tony's just sitting here looking like, please, I want to die. Tony, dude, like the graphic we used for this is like Tony's just got this look in his face, like I just want to go home.
When Punk said he wants me to work with freaks, like he just lost 404.
Yeah,
went on blue screen.
Yeah, he buried Colt. Yeah, he buried Colt's mom. I mean, Punk went off on this shit. And and like I said, I understand having frustrations. I understand, like, if there's legit shit going on in the back room, you need to deal with it. This was not the place or time for it. And it completely undermined. And then Ricky Starks actually made a comment about it. He said he hates this shit. He said, because it completely undermines what the efforts of everybody who worked on the show. So, like, all these people, like all this, basically nobody's talking about the freaking pay-per-view at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say all the matches just.
This could have just been like nothing.
Who cares about the matches?
I understand. And I agree. I understand that, Mouse. There's no such thing as equal treatment in the wrestling business. And like everybody's thinking that Punk's gonna get fired or the Bucks are gonna quit. Or like, listen, Punk ain't going nowhere.
Hey.
Right? Wait, Rasport, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Hi, guys from UK. What a mess. I think CM Punk still might get fired and maybe Elite fired too. Just winning now, suspended or fired. All right. So okay. Here's my take on the situation. Punk's not going to get fired. The Elite aren't going to get fired. Ace Steel might get fired, but I honestly think if Ace gets fired, Punk's going to follow him. Because that's the way Punk is. The Elite can't really be fired because they're part owners of the company, and they're also executive VPs. But I definitely think suspensions. There's going to be some suspensions. There's definitely going to be fines.
Yep.
And I think Tony's going to do what Tony does. I think he's going to try to smooth this out between everybody. I don't think it's going to work.
Try to get them all in a room and shake hands and
be nice,
be like best friends.
Yep, and that's
got
not
to give
happen.
the people what they want.
What Tony needs to do is he needs to bring in somebody to be his sheriff. He needs to bring in William Regal. He needs to bring in Samoa Joe, one of these guys that has been in the business for a long time and ain't going to take the shit from these people. And he's going to have to be Tony's backbone because Tony doesn't have one. All right. When it comes to stuff like this. And Tony's going to have to, like I said, we all said that AEW needed to evolve. One of the things that needs to evolve is Tony needs to recognize that he's the boss and you're not going. And the boss can't be everybody's friend. The boss has to be the boss.
I wonder if Ace Steel put some salt and pepper or barbecue sauce on Omega before he started biting him.
Jeez, dude.
Man, I'm sad they're not gonna be on the show. I wanted to see the damage. I wanted to see the damages, man.
I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't like a lot of people are finding this shit entertaining. I'm not. I don't like it. I don't like.
I don't think it's good, but I want to see if it really happened.
This
there's really a black eye.
You know, the idea that this company that I love, that I think is awesome and I love, and I want to see thrive, is falling apart because of a couple people can't get their shit together, and the boss is being a milquetoast.
Yeah, come on. Ace Steel needs to come out and go, Omega, tastes so good, make you want to slap your mama.
Oh my god.
But anyway, another big thing is like if Tony was doing what he should have done, as the minute he had a chance to interject himself into that conversation, he said, okay, well, why don't we deal with this at another time?
Scrum's over.
Let's talk about the show, and if we're not, then we're done here. And that should have been the end of it. Tony should have put his foot down. And because here's the thing, Punk wasn't just running down the Bucks. He wasn't just running down Hangman. He wasn't just running down Omega and Cabana. He was running down the company he freaking works for.
That's a bad look from Punk.
Okay. It's a really, really bad look. And Punk looks like a freaking child acting the way he is. Yeah, it's a car wreck. Yeah, it's a car wreck no matter how much you don't want to. I get it. I get like we're talking about it. So obviously it's something that, the interest has been piqued. I just think it's been piqued in a negative way.
Right.
Now the Elite, like you said, Frank, they knew this dude was friggin' heated. They knew he was pissed. And I get someone talking shit about you is going to piss you off. They should not have gone to his locker room because from all the reports we heard, they're the ones who went and confronted Punk.
Maybe that was the point. Maybe they wanted a reaction, so there will be consequences.
Yeah, but
I just think it's a bunch of egos got upset. I don't think there was a lot of pre-planning or pre-thought into this. William Rasley said, it's not really entertaining. It makes them look absolutely crap. The AEW at the moment, so much mess. Also, not just this, Malachi Black too, apparently not an AEW roster page, all going on. Yeah, the thing with Alistair is he's got some personal issues that he needs to work through. And I think everybody thinks that he's left the company. That might be possible, but I think it's more likely that they just let him go on leave, and then they'll decide what to do when he's healthy or when he decides to come back, if he decides to come back.
What Tony could have also done is, knowing that Punk's all fired up like that, put security outside his locker room.
Yes, like I said, and this is my mind. The minute I'm seeing this going on, I'm leaning over to security, saying, "Okay, we need to put extra security on everybody's locker room. We need to keep an eye on what's going on because things are going to get heated." Okay, that was the first thing that went through that's what went through my mind as I was watching it live. That wasn't not after the fact. Like watching live, I'm like, they better have extra security around because he went off.
And then doing the scrum with Lee and Swerve, the security guard runs off.
Yep, and he goes running off. But I think it was too little, too late. And they're saying that supposedly Tony didn't know about anything because he had his phone off. I think that's bullshit. I think he was just scared.
He was waiting for it all to blow off. He didn't want to deal with it.
He was hoping that it would all blow over and then that he could sit down with everybody and later on and everybody hold hands and be friends. Yeah, that's another thing, man. They're trying to make sure that their contracts get picked up. This kind of shit ain't gonna look good.
And this is the reason they can't fire any of the people involved.
Yes. That's the reason why they can't. Because here's the thing. If they fire CM Punk, it's going to hurt them. And it's going to hurt them a lot, but they'll survive.
Yeah.
But it's going to hurt. Like I said, it's going to hurt. And that could end up causing problems for their renewal. If they fire Kenny in the Bucks and Hangman, That's the end of the company, because that despite what people might want to say, Kenny Omega is the heart of that company. All right. I mean, John Moxley can say that all he wants, but Kenny Omega is the nucleus that company was built around. All right. Cody was the engineer. Cody was the engineer. He's the guy that created the company. And I think that's a big reason why they're having so many problems, because Cody was the guy, I think, that was the glue. He was the guy that was holding everything together. And now that he's gone and they don't have that guy in the locker room anymore, that's part of the reason why there's so much dissension.
And you wonder if tomorrow, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. You wonder if tomorrow, even though you sent all these guys home, if there's a possibility that he strips anybody of their titles.
Nope.
Like I said, if it was me, you can't, like, if it was me, after everything is said and done, and I would talk to them about this, I would talk to Punk about this, because according to all the reports, Punk is the one who threw the first punch. Punk threw the first punch, and then Steel hit Nick Jackson with a friggin' chair.
Yeah. From what we know.
Yeah. I would strip CM Punk of the world title, and I would suspend him for a couple of weeks. But here's the thing. Now, you could still do the MJF Punk storyline. What you do is you have a tournament to crown who becomes the new champion and have MJF win. So now it's Punk chasing MJF. You could still do that. Now, are they going to do that? Hell no.
No.
They're not going to do that. They are not. Okay. CM Punk is Tony Khan's favorite toy right now. Okay. He is not going to take that title off of this guy. What they're going to do is they're going to be fines. People are going to be made to come out and apologize. Tony's going to try everything he possibly can to prevent this from happening. So that's more than likely what's going to happen. Now, is it possible that tempers are going to flare and people are just going to walk? Yeah, that's a possibility. I don't think so, though. But 100% absolutely has to happen is Tony has to sack up. He can't be this everybody's friend anymore. It's not going to work.
Nope.
The only way that works is if he, like we said, he hires somebody to be his sheriff, and then make sure that he makes it clear that whatever this guy says goes. That's the only way that Tony can continue to be this, happy-go-lucky, everybody, I'm everybody's buddy thing. So, and even then, that's problematic.
Right. Yeah. And we've talked about this for a while. Unfortunately, you even though I said it was okay, there were still some good matches on Saturday at Clash of the Castle. There were some good matches on Sunday at All Out. So, and you got the debut of
Braun Strowman.
the Usos. Is it brother?
Oh, Solo Sikoa. Yeah, I still think Drew should have won.
Man, watching Roman's matches is like watching the House of Torture. Like, I don't even bother.
Dude, there's so much interference, man. It's bad. Like nobody can, no WWE fan can bitch about New Japan having all this interference when that kind of shit happens all the time. So, but yeah, that's true, Mal. Triple H has decades in this business and is a master politician. Tony jumped headfirst in a pool full of piranhas. Yeah, I agree. And I think that's why Cody was so important. I think Cody was basically the Triple H of AEW. He was the guy that was he knew the locker room. He knew how to maneuver around things. He was the political guy. He was the architect. He's the guy that he was the glue keeping things together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
just from having his dad and his brother, I mean, dad is greatest influence on him, and having his brother there with him in AEW. I mean,
yeah,
the guy knows wrestling better than the Bucks or Kenny Omega or CM Punk.
Yeah, And like William Resdell is saying, no one's talking about MJF return, CM Punk, saw that. Yeah, that was
a big pop too.
Yes. Oh my. And this is it. I think that pop pissed CM Punk off because, again, like we said, he's a diva. He likes being the most popular guy. He likes being he likes being the guy that everybody's looking at. He likes being the guy on top of the hill. And he was at home. That's understandable. Yeah, and he was at home. That's understandable. Okay, you should want to be the guy. You should want to be, the guy the guy that everybody loves. But the problem is that whenever this kind of stuff happens, Punk reverts to being a diva, and he gets all pissed off, and he tries to figure out a way to make it about him again. And that's exactly what he did in this friggin' scrum. He went into that scrum and he's like, I'm going to drop a freaking bomb on this place. So now it's all eyes on me again. That's the way he's always been, and it's part of what makes him popular. I'm not going to crap on it completely. It is part of what makes him popular. So, and it's why a lot of people like him, because he presents himself as anti-establishment. But the reality is that Punk likes to be the center of attention. And when something like that happened, that was supposed to be his big moment, and MJF took it pissed him off. So he decided all this other shit that he's angry about, he's going to bring it all up. William said, Will Railsport said, I love the way they did MJF return with the voice. Yeah, that was the way that the whole setup was really good. Like I said, if it had not been MJF, that was the Joker in the Casino Battle Royale. If it wasn't him, then that would have been terrible. Since it was him, it was awesome. It was awesome, and I think everybody knew it.
Do you think him with the Stokely crew is just a one night thing, or are they going to be associates?
Yeah, Stokely was his manager before in a different promotion, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. I think so. But I think what it is, they're going to be they're going to be hired guns for him. Now, I don't think he's associated with them. I think he's loosely associated with them. I think they're going to be there when he needs them. They're basically his muscle when he needs it. But
so like FTR was when they were
kind of, but less, but a lot looser.
Yeah,
like not an actual group. But I want to go back to what we were talking about, the Elite. Now, this is where I think they are in the wrong. This is where I think Kenny and the Bucks and Hangman are in the wrong. They should not have gone to his locker room to confront him. Okay, I understand it. It's a very human thing. Somebody's talking shit about you. You want to get up in their face. They shouldn't have done that, because again, the operative word here is these guys are professionals.
Oof.
Okay, you're in your workplace. You don't shit where you eat. You know what I mean? So, and they already knew that the situation was getting out of hand. This just makes it worse. So they go.
The first time something like that's happened in professional wrestling, and won't be the last time it happens.
Nope, it's not the first time. Yeah, and it's not the first time it's happened in AEW. Look what happened just a few months ago with Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara.
Yep.
And that right there was a precursor, I think, to all of this. I think when something like that happens, there are some people that take that as an excuse to say, well, if they did it, we can do it too. You know what I mean? It loosens people's inhibitions when stuff like that happens. Basically the male baddie section. Yeah, pretty much. So they went and they confronted him. That was not a good idea. Then it escalated even further. Now, at this point, I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's watching this. I know that I'd have been like, get all the security right now. Yeah. Get everybody. Yeah. But again, we're speculating because we don't know how quickly this thing escalated. Because it could have been that, hey, it could have been them throwing dogs in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, and you don't know if somebody said something, threatened somebody, if somebody spit in somebody's face.
Yeah, there's a lot we don't know.
What happened?
There's a lot we don't know. But what we do know is Punk is the one who threw the first punch. That has been confirmed and corroborated by multiple sources. Punk threw the first punch. And I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Brandon recorded everything. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. But if he did, now now that's actually evidence, and then the cops probably took it. But and then sometime during the melee, Steele hit Matt Jackson in the face or in the head with a steel chair. He got a black eye from something, but he's definitely hit with a steel chair. And then he grabbed, he was pulling Omega's hair and he bit him, which is, like I said, this thing's depressing, but that is kind of comical. So it's just like, who the freaking
slap on the barbecue?
Who the freaking hell thinks I'm in a fist fight? Let me bite this guy.
Mike Tyson.
Okay, but Mike Tyson's a lunatic.
Hey,
Mike Tyson. Oh my God. And even then it was like, why the hell would you bite him, dude? It doesn't make any sense. But then they got pulled apart. There were multiple people that injected themselves into the fight and pulled them apart. Security finally did show up.
What have I said before, Rob?
What?
Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat.
No, whatever.
You got to bite. Biting is cheating.
So they got pulled apart. Everybody got separated. Everybody got sent home. Cops were called. Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. But it's a shit show. It really is. And like I said, we could sit here and we could pontificate all we want. The reality is CM Punk said some inflammatory stuff. He did so in a very unprofessional manner that he shouldn't have done. He talked about Hangman going into business for himself, which is funny because that's exactly what Punk just did. Is he went into business for himself. Smelly says that as someone who was once in a fight where he was bitten, steals an ass hat. No, dude, I've been in a fight where somebody bit my finger. But it's just such a weird thing to me. It's like, who in the hell thinks about biting someone in a fight?
That's a very good way to lose your teeth.
Yeah, it is a good way to lose your teeth, because if you don't lose them from biting me and me jerking away or something, I'm gonna knock them out. But actually, I'm not gonna do any of that shit because I'm too damn old. Yeah. But no, and it's, like, it was unprofessional of him to do what he did. It was unprofessional of him to put Tony Khan in that situation. It was unprofessional of him to run down the locker room and the company that is paying him millions of dollars. Let's not forget that he's one of the most highly paid people in professional wrestling. It was wrong of him to put Tony Khan in that spot, although I put a lot of it on Tony Khan for allowing him to be put in that spot to begin with. And it wasn't right for the Elite to go charging up on this dude and basically exacerbating the situation. If Tony Khan wants to have any kind of credibility, there has to be some kind of serious repercussions here. There really does. Whether or not that's going to happen remains to be seen. Probably not going to be anywhere near what people think it should be. But and is it possible that somebody or maybe all are going to walk? I don't know. Yeah, he's getting paid $5 million a year.
Do you think Tony's stupid enough to try and get them in the ring together?
I think at some point they're going to have to, because this story is not going away.
Nope.
This story is not going away. So what Tony needs to do is he needs to, well, that's debatable, Courtney. Debatable about whether or not it's wasted money. It's wasted money if you don't like his attitude and everything. I agree with that. But as far as the impact that he's had since he got there, he's the biggest star in AEW. So,
yep.
But that's neither here nor there. That's a completely different conversation. But yeah, I think you need to hammer this crap out. Tony's, like I said, he needs to hire somebody to be his sheriff, or he needs to sack up and do it himself. Sit everybody down and says, okay, listen, this is how things are going to go. You guys don't have to like each other, but you got to be able to work with each other. And basically, you got a Shawn Michaels and
Bret Hart.
And Bret Hart this thing. Be like, listen, you guys hate each other's guts. I get it. You got to be able to work together. So be professionals. You got to lean on that whole thing of being a professional. That's what has to happen. And Tony's got to lay down the law and says, no more of this shit ever. You got a problem, come to me with it. But see, and this is why I put a lot of this on Tony Khan, because there's other reports coming out that's saying that a reason why a lot of people are frustrated is because Tony, who claims to have an open door policy where anybody can come on and talk to him, is apparently ignoring everyone except for his personal favorites. So if you're one of Tony's favorites, you can come talk to him whenever you want. If you're not, you might be able to get a chance to talk to him. You might not. So a lot of people saying that communication in the back is bad. And this goes back to what I pointed out with Cody. I think Cody was that mediator. He was that in-between guy. He was the locker room leader. And when he left, nobody stepped up to take over that.
And with all these people he promoted, like if anyone wants to talk to him, he's gonna send them to QT or somebody else. He's not even gonna talk to them right now.
Yeah, and that's a problem. And that's a problem. It's like if Tony's gonna be this guy that's supposed to be hands-on with everything, then he needs to do that. If he's not, he needs to do what we've been saying for forever. He needs to hire somebody to be, his GM, his sheriff, So
do you guys think they're gonna acknowledge the situation on the show tomorrow?
No. There might be a disclaimer at the very beginning of the show, but I don't think they're not going to talk about it. And to be fair, because it's now a legal matter, they probably can't talk about it, or that's not a good idea to talk about it, because you're in a situation when, like I said, once the law is involved, that changes everything. So we'll see where it goes. I think they're going to do everything they can to try to smooth it over. They're going to try to appease everybody. Whether that or not that's going to work, who knows? But it's definitely an ongoing situation, and it's not going away. That's the other thing. Hire Bischoff. Dude, did you see I haven't watched it yet, but Bischoff did a big thing about it, and I guess Cornette did too.
Oh, he did.
I gotta watch both of them, man.
It was the funniest.
I guarantee you, Cornette was probably jizzing himself. He was so happy. I mean,
he called it. He said it was going to happen years ago.
Yeah, but you don't have to be happy about it. But anyway,
but he's gonna be.
Oh, MJF and Max are gonna love. It's gonna be so hard for them not to say anything. And
their reps gonna be wild.
Max might actually slip and say something.
Oh, he's gonna. He knows he's gonna be punished, but he's gonna.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I do not think this is bad. I'm not gonna downplay it. This is bad, and it's something that they need to take care of. But I do think that Tony will figure out a way to take care of it. If he can't deal with it himself, he will hire someone to step in and take care of it for him. Also, there's a possibility that Daddy Khan might step in and be like, hey, this thing's in turmoil. What the hell's going on? I'm putting money into this thing. Yeah, so I think they will eventually right the ship. I think there's going to be a lot more drama to come. I don't think this thing is anywhere near over. I think that there's going to be some serious hurt feelings, because I think that's the only way this thing gets resolved. And I think there is the possibility. I don't think anybody there that is going to walk away, but there's a very real possibility that somebody might. And at the very least, there's going to be some people thinking twice about re-upping their contracts.
Yeah, interesting is that you have MJF is scheduled to talk about his win with the chip on Sunday, so you wonder what, if anything, he's going to say about CM Punk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And John Guido said it is the most talked about thing in wrestling. Wait till you see the viewing numbers this week. Oh, it's going to be crazy. Everybody that everybody's going to be tuning in to Dynamite to see if another train wreck happens.
Yeah,
110%.
And I think they're going to be disappointed.
I think they are too, but. Man, I don't know, man. Like
that was a nuke. That wasn't a.
Oh, that was that wasn't like nuke. No, that wasn't a pipe bomb. That was a friggin'. Like you said, that was an atomic bomb. That was a nuke. They're bringing Vince McMahon or John Laurinaitis. But yeah. Anyway, like I said, man, we didn't even talk about this week should have been.
It was on a Brian Payne's match.
Was that?
Yeah.
Oh, Brian
have Jade and Christian O'Brien. Yeah, that's what Johnny was going to do.
Yeah, Raleigh, I agree with that.
Yeah,
unfair on MJF, but he's not happy at all. CM Punk stole his thunder, because that's what we'd be talking about. That's what people would be talking about is MJF.
Well, we should also be talking about Wardlow after their match, but we were not because he was threatening to walk out. So there's that.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing too. Like, I understand MJF's frustration. He's one of the lowest paid guys in the company, but he's the top heel in pretty much all of wrestling. So it's like, I understand him wanting to renegotiate his contract. I do feel like it hurt Wardlow a little bit, but I get what he's saying. But like I said, this whole part of the reason why I think Punk did what he did, because he was pissed off that he wasn't the center of attention in his hometown in this big moment that was supposed to be his. MJF shows up and completely, nobody's going to argue the fact that MJF showed up and he stole that moment. 100%. Yeah, it was all about MJF. And I think that's part of the reason why he did what he did. But you can support wrestlers and you can support wrestlers and not support the company. No, I understand that. What I'm saying is that out of nowhere, Punk was ripping the company that just a few months ago he was talking about how awesome and great it was. So and also the guy who owns it's sitting right next to him and he's just tearing it to shreds. Now, again, Tony should have grown a friggin' spine and said something, done something, but what are you gonna do? I have an issue with him going after Alvarez, whether you like Alvarez or not. Alvarez, hasn't done anything to deserve. Actually, Alvarez has did nothing but talk about how awesome Punk is. Houseman, on the other hand, is a dumbass. And he showed just how big of a dumbass he is when he asked that stupid question to Tony when Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee were sitting right there. It's so true that MJF got cheers. I was a bit shocked by fans' reception to him, Matt. Oh, dude, no. Here's the thing.
There was no way he was going to get booed.
Dude, you look at the two of them. Dude, they parallel a lot of the shit that MJF does and the way he acts and the way people react to him. It's parallels to friggin' Punk.
And did you see what Jericho said?
Yeah.
That he was probably going to be a babyface when he came back. And he didn't want to, but there were going to be no choice.
I don't think he's going to be a babyface. I think he's going to be like Ric Flair. He's going to be the heel that you love. He's going to be the heel that you love to hate. That's a
nominal babyface. I think people are going to just love to love him.
It's a form of babyface, but it's not the same.
Yeah, MJ coming out, the fans cheering and chanting his name, and he just gives the double finger salute.
Yep. Like, they'll react to things like that, but MJF is over like Rover, dude.
Like, they didn't play Sympathy for the Devil for nothing.
Yeah, and that was such an awesome. That was a brilliant stroke. That was a brilliant stroke, man. Putting that in there. But anyway, guys, we are past the hour. So
what?
I gotta work tonight, man.
Oh, whatever.
But and like I said, this story it's going to be ongoing. It sucks that we're not talking about the show. It sucks that we're not talking about the wrestling. It sucks that we're not talking about the storylines that got advanced. But this is what happened, man.
Sucks that we're not talking about Jericho needs to lose and not always.
Oh my God, I was so upset with that. But you know what? We could touch on that next week. But I meant, let's see, what was it? I didn't mean get booed, just didn't realize he got MJF trends. I also didn't know Chris Jericho is an EVP in AEW. You guys know someone said tonight, I just thought elite EVPs. No, Jericho, I think Jericho's
not an EVP. It's just,
he's the Undertaker.
Jericho's Jericho's that guy that he's an unsung EVP. So there's that. But
yes, Raleigh, Jericho should have lost.
Yes, and I was not happy that he didn't. So I understand that the whole thing is to build up Garcia's storyline, but yeah, Jericho at this point, he doesn't need to be beating guys like Bryan Danielson.
No.
So, but anyway, guys, that's it for this week. Like I said, man, we knew it was going to dominate everything.
I want to keep going, but this guy's got to get some sleep.
Yeah, I know. If you guys want to keep going, I'll just dip out.
No.
But we got to do a watch along. We haven't done one in a while. So maybe
You want to
maybe
watch the press? You want to watch the press conference?
No. Maybe we'll do Full Gear. But
because
quick before we go,
the last couple of 8 Raw pay-per-view or
AEW.
WWE pay-per-views, Clash of the Castle wasn't that good.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, real quick before we leave, thanks to everybody. Shut up. Will Railsport, Courtney,
Hicksvillain,
Fantasia, Leg Kick. John Guido just signed up. Just signed up for us. Appreciate it, man. Who else was it? Maldacito, our brother. He's working out right now. And guys,
normal guy.
Yeah,
normal guy is that?
Yeah, and normal guy. Yep.
Yeah.
Normal guy. And remember, guys,
Everybody love everybody. Come on.
Come on,
everybody love everybody.
best in the world, baby.
Oh my God. Have a good one, guys. Take care.
Yeah.